Hi, air signs. Welcome to your Leo season Lionsgate reading. I will share a little bit of information with you about this time, but I suggest that you do some research on your own to get some more in-depth knowledge about it if you aren't familiar with it. The Lionsgate portal just opened today, July 26th, and it's going to remain active until about the 12th. And the actual Lionsgate celestial event, is August 8th, 8/8. So obviously a very powerful portal. 8 is tied to infinity, 8 is tied to abundance. It's just strength, in the tarot. Obviously I have the lion here for Leo, for Leo season, and for the Lionsgate energy. I've also got some fire, some fiery kind of things. I've got an ankh embedded here within the gold. And the reason for that is that this time, definitely ties into the pyramids and ancient Egypt. So you might want to look into that connection. And, Sirius, our spiritual sun. Some of you may, if you're into that type of thing and spiritual connections, you may have connections to Sirius and past lives and your home star, so to speak. But there are a lot of things that happen cosmically during this time. And again, you can look further into that. I want to keep this video pretty short. I know people are busy and just want to get right down to it. So again, this is for air signs. That is for Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. This is a collective reading, so it may not resonate for everyone. If it's not resonating for you, I suggest that you may want to check your moon rising or other strong placements such as Venus, or if you have a stellium and numerous planets that are in a specific sign, then you might want to watch the other videos for that. And if you're not sure how to read your natal chart or figure that information out, I do offer that as part of a customizable session. That information is down below, but you can also look up that information for free on Cafe Astrology. That link is going to be down below as well. So just for those of you who are, wanted to just share with you, when I do readings in the community, they're going to be typically this type of style where I pull a full spread. We go about 10 to 15 minutes and just dive in really quickly into what the cards show. I explain the images, explain the meanings of the cards. We may pull some oracle cards as clarifiers, but it's just pretty quick, and we speed right through it. So obviously if you would like a more in-depth reading, you can contact me to schedule that. So we're going to kind of get started. I'm going to use the Light Seers Tarot by Chris Ann. Oh, that's the one that wants to pop out. We're going to pull a Celtic spread and go from there. All right. Wow. These are some amazing, powerful cards here. Lots of major arcana. And you guys obviously saw me shuffle. We'll explain that. If you're not familiar with tarot, most decks, including this one, have 78 cards, and 22 are major arcana. So that's not, a huge amount, right? So to have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you have half of your spread is major arcana. So very powerful energy. I feel like you guys are going through a massive transformation. Some of you may have recently gone through a spiritual awakening or had an up level in your awakening. Just complete, I feel like just the last few months alone, couple months, you may not even recognize yourself or your life anymore. Lots of changes, and just a shedding of a lot of things. And in the last year, it's like completely different world. So, the reason I'm saying that, we have in your recent past death and rebirth. Some of you, may have actually, lost someone very important to you, and that is like kind of stripped you bare, and forced you to restart and rebuild. You can see, I mean, it's kind of a creepy picture, but it's not intended to be. It's like a shroud, an outline of a person. But what's inside is like the sun, this divine spark, the rebirth. I mean, this is probably my favorite depiction of the death card, because it literally says death, rebirth. There's the infinity symbol there. So, whatever this is, even if it was something incredibly painful, which a lot of times transformation is, obviously a literal death of a person, a loved one, is excruciating, but you are now coming on the other side of it, I feel like, and you've put a lot of work into that. You've, really been working on rebuilding yourself and building this new life and stepping into your power. You have the Seven of Pentacles here. That's a card about, you can see like planting seeds and waiting for them to grow. And I feel like they are starting to sprout finally. Like, again, you're on the brink of this, like, you're starting to have things pop, starting to have opportunities come in, starting to bring in things that you once thought were, the things that you once thought were unattainable, really. And I think, the only thing that's really holding you back right now from fully launching, into the stratosphere, or like the next level where you thought was like, wow, that's some, a dream, is really this, looking back on the past and lamenting over the past, which of course, especially if you've lost a loved one, of course you're going to do that. I mean, that's completely understandable. There can just be this fear and this like of not wanting to move forward into the next level because you feel like you're leaving behind or not honoring, what is gone. So I think it's important to grieve. It's important to process and let go. But I also think that is like the one thing, like still having a toe sort of like into this like darker, like, and it's not necessarily a lower vibrational situation, but it could be for some of you, if there's a day job that you still have, that where you're, maybe you have a side business and that's really, you've put all this work in and it's finally taking off, right? Or maybe you have, friendships, that maybe are falling away, and you're feeling this kind of longing, like you don't want to let that go, but it's stagnant, whatever the situation is stagnant, or dwelling on the past, is preventing you from living in the now. And that's why, things haven't fully flourished yet, but that's a minor, I think for some of you, it's like a minor blip at the moment. And I want to say blip is like to downplay grief. But I think, everything I'm seeing is that, this is very positive energy. And I don't just say that, right? I just recorded the fire signs video and it wasn't, as positive. So it's not always sunshine and rainbows, but I feel like this is a time, well, and it makes sense because air and fire, combust, right? And I feel like that's really what's about to happen, for you during this time. I just would, caution, clinging too much to things that might make you, feeling safe even. It could be just a feeling of, well, that makes me feel safe. I'm not ready to open myself up to this other opportunity because, gosh, that's like really scary, right? It could be something like that. What we have here in the current position is the Emperor. That's another major arcana, just like the Death card was a major arcana. The Emperor is the divine masculine energy. Remember, we all have masculine and feminine energy within us. So this could be a situation with a boss, like at work, This could be you becoming your own boss, or you might be applying for a new role, like a promotion. Um, it's like, this is like a guy, the emperor, he's holding a chess piece. So it's like making all the right moves, feeling confident in where you're headed in your path. And, I definitely feel like some of you are going to get news about an opportunity, and maybe like something you've worked really hard for. And that's again where that Five of Cups is the only like, oh, like the feeling safe, or like, you know, not fully believing in yourself. But you have the Page of Wands here, and maybe you're waiting for the good news, and you feel like it's unattainable. But, I feel like the only thing holding you back right now is yourself and your belief in yourself. And, what I always say, like in a lot of my readings, is if it excites you and scares you at the same time, you're supposed to do it. And if something like scares you and it gives you an ooch, and it's not something you want to, you're like, oh, I'm not, it scares me, I have anxiety, but you don't even have like a spark of, gosh, I really want to do that, I just don't have the confidence, right? There's a difference, and the difference. I always tell people, when I do readings, I'm confirming what you already know deep down inside. So I feel like this is a time to just say, your hard work is going to pay off. And I feel like you're going to have a lot of different options. It's, putting it out there of what it is you want, and don't be afraid to reach for the stars here. So your path forward is the Seven of Wands. That's a card about perseverance, pushing ahead. Sometimes it can be a card about defensiveness. In some cases being guarded, but I don't get that in this deck when I see this image. She looks very much, you can see it looks like wands that are all the chakras. She's sitting, meditating. She's got like right under her heart chakra, so kind of like between the heart and the solar plexus is lit up. It's like, she's like, I'm getting like what I was just saying, like what sparks your soul, right? Go after that. You can never be wrong when you follow your soul's calling. So, connecting into spirit and stillness, and just allowing can maybe help bring you clarity during this time. But this is what, like, you cannot make up. Like, this is like, we have, for your last four cards, we have three major arcana. And they're positive. Not all of them are positive in the tarot, but these are amazing cards. You've got strength, which is the Lion's Gate energy. You can't make this stuff up. And I love in this deck, absolutely love how the lion is depicted as half woman, half lion. Like, that's you. Even if you're a man, we have the feminine, the creation energy all in us, but that's embodying that lion. You're not just taming the lion, like you become the lion. It's about courage. And it's like, once, what I'm getting chills. What once, like typically in tarot, the strength card is depicted as a woman taming a lion in some way. She might be riding the lion. She might be leading it on a leash. Here the woman is the lion. And what once was the lion for her to tame, that thing to tackle, that thing to conquer, that fear, it's now a lamb. It's like not even anything. It's like, once you take that step and you persevere forward, like, you're going to be like, why was I so scared about this? Why was I so scared? This is what I'm supposed to do, right? It's going to be successful. And I'm not one to say that, like, things aren't always sunshine and rainbows in these readings, and I will say so, okay? Six of Wands is the victory, success. Victory and success. Okay, you also have the High Priestess and the Hierophant. This is, whereas we have, you had the Emperor, which is like the divine masculine in grounded earth form, right? You have the two spiritual feminine and masculine cards, the High Priestess and the Hierophant. That is like the perfect balance. Like, I feel like, whatever this opportunity is going to bring you in alignment with your intuition, your feminine energy, your creation, um, and your masculine power. But I also feel like, it's just something that sparks your soul. It's something that is an up level for you. Your intuition, you're going to know, if you have multiple opportunities coming in, you're going to know which one, right? And the more that you keep connecting and keep connected to your higher self, to your intuition, and to spiritual guidance and signs and synchronicities that come in, um, you know, that's your outcome card, is like the sky's the limit if you just tap in, right? If you move onward and upward versus backward or staying stagnant. So let's pull an air sign vibes. This is one of my self-created decks, and just see, sometimes these are shadow cards, sometimes they are just an energy that wants to work with you as an air sign during this time. So let's see. Oh, the Lovers. That's interesting. So again, you cannot make this stuff up, because this is, this could be for some of you, if you've been wanting to manifest a relationship, like a spiritual partnership, this could be coming in for you. And getting over your fear of maybe taking a relationship to the next level, or communicating something in your relationship to make it better and to make it deeper and more connected. It certainly could be that. The Lovers is about balance, and it's tied to Gemini. So you could be dealing with a Gemini. You yourself might be a Gemini. That might be like stronger, confirmation for you. But it's about choices and balance. But I think whatever this is, it's like, it's going to give you, more balance. You're able, and if there's a fear around not being able to balance whatever this passion you have of yours, and like your career and your day job or whatever it is, like, again, pursue that spark in your soul, and you cannot go wrong. For some of you, if you've been wanting to manifest a relationship, I feel like you are bringing in somebody that's balanced, and going to be very supportive of you. I feel like some of you could be doing an endeavor together, or it could involve something with relationships, with counseling or something like that. So I hope that was helpful. If you guys would like to look into your specific situation more in an in-depth reading, that information is down below. Thank you.